Okay, so this is a quick review of the introductory lesson that I used in the third 9 weeks for my students. I built this back in the fall, and we began the 9 weeks after Christmas with this lesson. So the lesson was intended for the students to learn some content-specific vocabulary for the art of argument. Because argument is relatively new for students just in ninth grade, um, even though they're very good at arguing by then, they haven't yet learned the actual art of argument. And so I introduce them to the content specific vocabulary. The expectation is that they can use the vocabulary after this first initial lesson. They are asked to use it. Of course, I do have scaffolding in place for the first few lessons when they're using it. I have the words up, and they have access to these video slide and hopefully the notes that they're asked to take. Because I made this as an asynchronous unit, there is a Google Meet link for the students in the lesson. This is the lesson that's actually on this site. Is called Canvas. This is where I created it, and I have multiple things there. I was actually in this one, I believe. Make sure, because I have different versions of this same thing. So as I was teaching it, I modified it various times, thinking what would I do next time differently, sort of reflecting back as an educator on best practices. But in this lesson, I started with a slideshow for the students. This was, again, asynchronous, so they were in the actual Google Meet. I just realized I have that open multiple times. And so I would have had it in slideshow format, going through each with images and definitions, asking them, of course, to take notes as they go. When we finished that, then we would go into breakout sessions where I have built a little game. If you click there, it will open actually here into WordWall. And there's a game that I built for them with the vocabulary. Go through the game. I didn't mean to actually go through the game. Okay. They can go through the game. Once they go through, there are different ways. They don't have to do just the drag and drop. So that but once they go through each of these, it'll give them an option to play it in different formats. And it does create a leaderboard. So it has a bit of competition for them as well. The students really like game learning, game interaction, and it helps to reinforce those new terms for them. I like the idea that it has options too, because once they've finished the initial version, it'll let them pick different options that is more conducive to the way they learn. But it still has the same terms in each version of that they choose. Once I set up the game, it automatically creates these other options for them. So it's a really kind of fun way for kids to learn it at that age level. At the end of 15 minutes, I bring them back together, and they can either play an independent game with the words, or they can begin by going to this video link. And this video link is, as you can see, an TED Ed lesson that I created from a video that I found online. Those Pathos logos. It has the dig deeper questions. It has the discussion writing prompt for them to complete. I give them a warning that if they go past 3 minutes, 18 seconds, that they'll accidentally be peeking at the next part of our learning activity for the next day. And then there is an open note quiz, which when they're actually in the lesson instead of in the teacher view like this, it will be the next thing that it automatically takes them to. But of course, we as educators can peek around in different ways. Go to the quiz. Um, and this is the self-evaluation for lesson 1. As you can see, it has the words here, and the kids would be asked to pick which is the best term that is best fits the definition of the effective and organized art of communication. And these are all words that we discuss in there in that lesson. So they have to pick which one, and it has each one, it's self-graded. I do ask them to use their notes. The slideshow is embedded in there. The game is embedded in the quiz. So they can use any version of that to go back and get 100%